No one's here yet, so I'm not too concerned, but I don't know what's with my iPhone and why it's this orientation lock. I found a way to unlock the orientation or to lock. It doesn't say locked or unlocked. Anyway, I'm going to do this with a portrait view. I'm looking for my earlier attempt to try and delete it so people aren't confused, because there would now be two of them, and that's not fair. There's two people following. Hi there, Brian. Well, Brian, how you doing? Says Connie Eagle. I'm doing great. I'm in Vancouver. The weather, it's a beautiful day today. The weather's warm. Appointment this evening to do a photo shoot, and that person canceled, and then she got a hold of me about a half hour before the photo shoot, which is actually means she would have been late if she was at home when she was doing it, because she lives more than a half an hour away. Anyway, so I'm doing a live. You guys are lucky, because otherwise I would have been doing something else. And another comment from Mike Brown. How you been, Mike? We haven't done this live thing for a few weeks. I'm not sure about my hair here. Looks like a flat top. Anyway, I'm trying to find this video, this live, so I can actually read the comments off of my iPad, because it's bigger. So we'll see what happens when I keep looking in here. There's only a few people here, so it's not a big rush to get going. There I am. Oh, there's a whole bunch of comments. I lost my glasses, so I pulled up my iPad. I still can't read it. All I can if I'm careful. So I heard from Brian and Mike Brown, Connie Eagle, the traveling art guy. Oh, hi, traveling art guy. Don't remember seeing you much. And Mike Brown was the first guy here. I don't pay Mike to be here first. I'm just joking. I like lives, but I don't get to do them very much. So I did a video the other day about being happy. I kind of snickered because then I saw some other, I got all kinds of funny comments. I thought, oh, hey, a $10 super chat. Awesome. Is that Mike? Yeah, Mike. Thank you, Mike. That goes directly into my diesel tank, unless somebody's got some other option. You know what I did the other day is I photographed a girl, took 1 million photos, actually 650. Hi, Eric. Took a huge number, which was like 650. It took a very long time to download them, and then I do some conversions so that I can upload them so that my client can see them. And while I was doing that, I had at the photo shoot I used a Jackery battery, so I was running my fridge, running the computer, and charging this Jackery battery, and then I fell asleep, and I ran all my batteries down to like bottom end. So for the last day or two I've been trying to charge my batteries, charge the Jackery, run the fridge, and run the computer. So I've been trying to manage my power. I haven't had any power problems for years, but suddenly I turned on 3 very expensive in terms of a power draw. I turned on all 3 of them at the same time. Oops on batteries. Yeah, I basically, it's like nixed them all. I used them completely. But it's sunny. It's not like it's raining or anything like that. Holy crap! That's a big blue. The traveling art guy. Thanks. $6.99. That's probably a Canadian conversion problem. Thanks very much. I can use this stuff. This goes into, I'm going to go up to about the middle of the month, and then I may be going to Vancouver Island, but I'm not sure. I've been here in Vancouver. I came back to Vancouver too early in the winter, so I've been here way too long now. But, you know, things are looking up. After I do a photo shoot tomorrow night, another one next week, and then I start to head out, go somewhere. Chrome should have changed. Oh, should have changed it for you? Charged it for me. Oh, no, it was charged. I've had it. It was at 100%. Then I went and photographed the girl and shot 650 photos. That's a lot. It's running a 300 watt strobe light that, you know, it's strong enough so that it actually overpowers the sun. If I'm close enough to the person, I'm shooting more light on them than the sun on the sunniest part of the day. So it uses a lot of power. So I used it up. I used that to photograph the girl. Then my computer was taking it, uses 125 watts. So I don't know how to put it. When you ask my batteries, anyway, my house batteries, to give you 350 watts or so for like 4 hours while I slept, that's basically almost as much as you use in your home. And I can manage it. I just didn't manage it because I fell asleep. You know what I've now done is screwed up my own picture because of that. Now I can't get the comments out of my own face, but that's okay because my face isn't all that pretty. I think I'm connected now, right? Somebody send me a note, say I'm connected, and then I'll understand it. Yeah, good. What I was saying is that Camo Dave, I watch Camo Dave, and he talks about me once in a while. Usually he calls me that, he made me laugh because he said Gus and the Bus sounds like a Sesame Street show. And I guess it, you know, in some ways my show is like Sesame Street. It's good enough for it. A 6-year-old could watch it and no one would be offended most of the time. So, but it's not a kid show. I don't swear a lot or anything like that, but it's not a kid's show. 4. Hi there. So, I've been, I did a video the other day about being happy. And most of the comments were pretty good. Some of them are like, you know, some people, the reality, like I made that actually kind of superficial to kind of to sort of demonstrate to people that they can make their life pretty happy. But there's another level to what you do. If one is very, very, very careful, they notice when they're not in this particular moment, and they notice when they're thinking about something in the past or something in the future. Both of those are actually negative thoughts. So planning something in the future is based on the fear that you can't handle whatever happens in the future. So I ended up at one time getting good at noticing when I was worried about something unimportant, like something that I didn't need to worry about. And I'm going to give you an example. I was walking down the street and I was about 2 blocks from the bank, and I noticed that I was thinking about, I was rehearsing in my mind what I was going to say to the teller. Well, I'm like an adult. I don't need to rehearse that. I can just go to the teller and tell her what I want. But for some reason, my mind was on the conversation I was going to have with the teller. So I stopped thinking about the teller. I stopped doing that, and then consciously started looking around me so that my mind wasn't somewhere else. You know what I mean? It wasn't somewhere else in the future. So when I talk about positive thoughts, I mean, I got to the point at one time where I was so careful that I could walk around all the time thinking only of the things that were around me and nothing in the future and nothing in the past. And when I'm looking at the things around me and I'm in that state, then I honestly see an awful lot of beautiful things all the time. But when my mind is in the future, like I'm worried about, I call it worry, and I'm not going to even pretend that I wasn't. Like in reality, there's no rational reason for me to be afraid to talk to the teller. But in fact, if I'm rehearsing that conversation, that's exactly what I am, is afraid to talk to the teller. So once I realized that and stopped doing it, and I started getting good at stopping doing that over and over, my life got a whole lot better because I was actually aware of what was going on around me in this particular moment, and not didn't have my mind on these other times, these other states. Anyway, thought I'd tell you guys that because if I ever start making, maybe I should do a live every Sunday morning and be Preacher Gus. Hallelujah! Just kidding you. Anyway, somebody, traveling art guy, how the crowd feel about van dwellers in the highway of tears. Oh, the highway, that Camo Dave is making a big deal out of something. I don't like, I'm not, it's not negative. That's his job, is to make highlights, or like to make, how would I put it? In this case, he's making a lot out of pretty well nothing. The police the last thing I read in the newspaper is the police are chasing, they've got 2 suspects who are now in Saskatchewan, 1,000 miles from where Dave thinks they are. From Dave, that's Camo Dave. So they're not in BC anymore, they're over in Saskatchewan. And the police know who they are and what car they're in, and they've got their picture and they've plastered it all over the place. These guys are going to be caught before they get very, I mean, they might drive a long way, but in northern Saskatchewan, there's only like small little Indian villages, basically. There's no large towns that I can think of. You have to, yeah, there's no large cities. There's very few tourists because that's in the middle of the prairies. So all there is farm after farm after farm with a very straight road. So those guys are, I would say that those guys are of very little danger to any of the vent dwellers or anything like that. And you got to understand, like when you see 2 dots on a map of BC, BC is a little larger, I think, than the state of California. But from here to Prince George, which is in the middle of our province, is 500 miles. BC is 1,000 miles long from top to bottom, and it's about 500 miles wide. So how big is that? That's like almost the entire east coast of the U.S. And there's 3 or 4 murders. I don't mean 4 people that are murdered or missing, something like that. And if I went, there are more people getting killed in the same area in the United States. If we took the area of BC and put it on the East Coast, I'll bet you there's a murder every hour. And no one blinks an eye because that happens every day. But in Canada, there's like 2 or 3 people die in a huge piece of land, and now there's a big deal. Like, oh, you got to be afraid. It's just out of context. Like in California, how many people got murdered today? Well, BC is the same size as California, and we had 4 murders, and probably in a year, our province is going to have like 12 murders. Something like that. No, maybe 20, something like that. So it's not something that people need to worry about. But yeah, it's Janine says it's really sad. It is really sad that a young couple can run into that kind of thing. But there's Because they're nomads, I guess it's a little closer to home. But in reality, I feel a lot worse about those kids in schools that are getting killed down, throughout the United States, and the mass murders that take place all over the place. The world's not a perfect place. It's not even a dangerous place, really. But everybody makes a big scene of these things, and what I mean by that is that I travel everywhere, and I'm not worried about other people wanting to hurt me or kill me or anything like that. There might be some nutcase that shows up and shoots me, but I mean that's kind of like okay. I got on an airplane, and out of 500,000 flights, one airplane crashes, and that happens to be the one I was on. It's some kind of fate, but you can't hide from fate. You can't hide from that. And if you put those negative thoughts in your head, you're going to have a negative life. So I'd rather have a happy life and get shot than have an ugly, scared life and survive for a couple more years. It doesn't make sense to me. So I'm always sort of fighting against people being told to be afraid. And you know, I don't know. I don't really know how to say it. I wouldn't want to like. We have politics in Canada that are much the same as the Americans now because we have American political teams coming to Canada to do the politics. But they're really, really, really dirty and negative, and it doesn't make any sense. But it's all the reason that it's being used is because people vote emotionally rather than rationally. So if you can get them afraid of something, then and whether it's a rational fear or not, then you'll affect their vote. I guess that's the way it works. Well, I'm not getting many comments. I guess everybody's listening instead. There are people getting killed in Toronto yeah. I mean, the province of BC honestly probably doesn't get more than 20 murders in a year, and I mean gun murders. And when there's when we have like 16 in BC, I mean in Vancouver, meaning there's like 1.5 a month. We think this is a horrendous like murder rate, and that you guys like in LA, there's probably 1.5 a day. Or more. Anyway, so what people can live in those cities in the United States, which are probably 100 times more dangerous than driving around in a van up in northern BC. So who's here? How many people? We got only 8 people. My God, that's a tiny number. And I have to go in about, well, what's going to happen is I'm at Starbucks, and Starbucks will close at around 7 and turn off the Wi-Fi. So at one point, Wi-Fi will just go dead. But I'm having a good time. I don't want to go. Yeah, I don't. What do you call it? What's his name now? Camo Dave. His job is to like sort of review channels and kind of report the news. So he's doing exactly what he sort of feels his job is, or what his channel is about. And I watched him today. He said some nice things about me. It's not. I don't think that it's his job to say nice things, but I think he basically tries to give everybody he's reviewing or talks about, even if he's kind of a little critical, he's actually quite a positive guy. He's pretty, how would we put it? Pretty straightforward, straight talker, shows a small amount of everybody's channel, tries his viewers interested. And I think he does a really good job, but I'm quite surprised sometimes his comments get pretty negative, or maybe not negative, but extremely sarcastic. Who we got here? The bottom guy, last Faye White. Hello from Prince Edward Island. Oh, that's a cool. That's a small place. That's the only place. I shouldn't say the only place. It's a tiny province in Canada. Maybe Faye can tell us how big it is. It's like I don't know. It's probably smaller than Los Angeles County. Even though Canada's huge, Prince Edward Island's kind of tiny. But we love you. We're Canadian. We all stick together. We're not gonna run each other down unless we're in a group of just Canadians. We have some kind of solidarity pact. Oh, there! I scrolled it up and I get a whole bunch. No, I didn't get a bunch more comments. So it is 7:07, and they're going to shut us down really soon. Yeah. Did I say A? Mike's got A laughing out loud. It's funny because I don't think I say it that much anymore, but I did say it a lot when I was younger, behind a statement. So I might say, today's a wonderful day, eh? But I don't think I use it so much because when I go down to California, every time I say it, somebody says, you're a Canadian. So I consciously try to avoid it. But I might have said it right here on live on Thursday night. Check the thumbs up. Thumbs up or gee, 0 I got for thumbs up. Maybe I have to refresh that page. If I've only got 0 thumbs up, well, there's 4 it says. I need more thumbs up. No one's going to watch. No one's going to watch this unless everybody hits that thumbs up. There's 8 people. Hit the thumbs up. I'm kidding. It's funny to do. I laugh when I do stuff like that, when I start pushing the idea of something or selling something. For the super chat. It's awesome. I need, well, I'm actually doing okay now in terms of my funding, because YouTube is now paying me a little bit of money that I wasn't used to before. And it's all because I had made one nude beach video, and that one video has been seen by 500,000 people almost now. I think it's at about 435,000 people have seen one of my videos, and the other videos are seen by like 150 or 200. And of course, some of those model videos are seen by tons of people, but they're not monetized. I'm still trying to sort all that out, exactly how I'm going to do that. I might even actually stop doing photo shoots because they're kind of a pain in the butt. I don't get to, like, I'm in Vancouver in order to photograph people, and the last 2 of them canceled. So the last 2 photo shoots I had planned, they canceled. There was no reason for me to be in Vancouver. So because they're a little, what's the WTG? Don't know what that means. What the WT to me means what the, and so I only know WTF. I don't know what WTG means. Anyway, I know we're dying. I might as well do it on purpose. Oh, way to go. Way to go is a lot better than WTF. But at least I got the WT part. That much is good. So basically, I should probably say goodnight to everybody. If you happen to click on my live and you're not currently subscribed, please subscribe. Check out my videos. This is gonna end with one of my little ads to say I travel and take pictures of beautiful people and beautiful places, and I'm gonna take you along with me. So subscribe, please. Who's that last note from? Oh, Mike. Yeah, keep it up. Thanks a lot, Mike. Thanks a lot, everybody who's watching. I really appreciate it. We're down to 0 viewers because I said goodnight. Bye-bye.